we're live. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Nikki Smoke. Sorry about my co-host, Jay. You were listening to the Smoke Show. It is the Week 8 preview. Dolphins at Detroit.
Fired up Friday, baby.
Fired up Friday. We don't have Bobby in the building. It's an absolute shame, but he's actually in Detroit. He's going to the Michigan State game, and then he's going to the Dolphins-Lions game. So he's got an excused absence in my book. Before we get into this game, though, I think this might be the hottest sports debate topic in America right now. Justin Herbert versus Tua Tagovailoa. Who is the better quarterback, Jay?
Tua Tagovailoa, baby. Let's ride, baby. For this year, I think Tua, I'm not going to lie, is easily and clearly outperformed Justin Herbert. Herbert is losing games to teams he probably shouldn't, and he's throwing the turnovers that are causing the lost games. I'm not saying that I agree with him and everything, but Emmanuel Ancho, or however you say his name, brought up a good point. Like, the two turnovers I threw in the first half of the Seahawks game lost them that game. Like, they were down 17-0. It was over from there. So I think this year, if we're just going off 22-23 season, Tua has clearly outperformed Justin Herbert. Now, this isn't to say overall I would take Tua over Herbert, even though right now I would kind of easily. Obviously, Herbert has traits. He has the size. He has the arm strength that Tua Tagovailoa doesn't have. But I would also say, while saying that, in general, while that might not be the case, I think the gap has closed a significant amount after this year. Because last year, Tua didn't have any weapons, didn't have an offensive line. And that's what Herbert fans are saying this year. So I know the roles are flipped. So basically, people are already on the Herbert train. So now, obviously, it's coming down. Tua's coming up. So it's kind of meaning a converging point. I just think it's interesting that I feel like if the situations were flipped, it'd just be the same thing. Like if Herbert was in Miami, or even if Herbert was the one struggling early on in his career versus Tua coming on now. So the reason Herbert bought all this hype is because he was instantly a hit. He came into that Chiefs game and he went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, that's how he came onto the scene. So the fact that that's kind of how it happened, and he had the buzz first, he came in and didn't miss a beat. And to be honest, he was better in the NFL than he ever was in college.
100%.
So I think with that in mind, that's why the media and everyone's like perception of Herbert is that much better. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have that perception. I'm just saying that's why. Because Tua was dealing with all the stuff that he was dealing with and putting up mediocre numbers. Now, the thing is, mediocre numbers in that situation was great, but that might appease Dolphins fans. And if you watch the Dolphins, you'll be like, okay, that's why he's putting up those numbers. But the national media won't look at that. They'll look at like total touchdowns. They'll look at all that stuff. And with Tua missing games and not being able to put up the statistics that you would want him to, especially lacking the weapons that he did compared to Justin Herbert and a guy like Joe Burrow in that draft class, who had guys like Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, and in Joe Burrow's case, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. So that's where we've got to this point. The thing is, now Tua has matched them on that. He doesn't have a running game still, but the offensive line has gone a little bit better. And now he has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So that's why I think in the offseason, we both said this too. It's like, this is the year to actually compare and contrast quarterbacks because they're all in similar situations. Now, again, this time Herbert's the one dealing with all the other stuff. So I don't want to just put him down, because we'd be hypocrites if we were saying, oh, Herbert's ass now, because that's what we said about Tua in the last couple of years. And then he's decent. So I just think this year, I think it's like clear, and I think it's blasphemous if you're taking Herbert over Tua Tagovailoa this year. Overall, it might still be Herbert, but I think the gap has closed significantly.
I think that's a great point. I think before this year, the gap was like this, the size of my you-know-what. And now it's like me on a cold winter day. It's like this. I think Justin Herbert has, the gigantic arm, the big frame, the athleticism. He has all that over Tua. But what he doesn't have is a 19-9 record. I don't care what they say about Tua. This man finds a way to win games. And Justin Herbert is finally starting to feel how Tua felt in his first 2 years in the NFL. No weapons. I know Herbert had a bad offensive line his rookie year, and he went on to win Rookie of the Year. Herbert has great numbers. Don't get it twisted. But I know Herbert had a bad offensive line, but he wasn't throwing to Mac Hollins, Isaiah Ford,
Malcolm
you
Perry.
name it, bottom tier wide receivers, bottom tier offensive line, bottom tier running backs, a head coach that literally despises you. Herbert didn't have to go through that. He's throwing to Mike Will, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. It's different, man. I think Herbert is the more talented quarterback. He's got the bigger arm. He's more athletic. He's 6 foot. What is he? 6'6". He's a monster. And I don't think that we have to say Herbert is dog shit to say Tua is good. I think both quarterbacks are great. I mean, Herbert's rookie year, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. His second year, 38 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. And in his off year right now, he has 12 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. If we're going to sit here and call this man dog shit, we as a Dolphins fan base, we have a problem. Let's just accept that Tua's been playing great ball. This is the best year Tua's had. Tua's rookie year was an absolute roller coaster, up and down, rehabbing the hip, playing in a game, getting benched for Fitzpatrick coming into the game to save the day. That rookie year was a disaster. Then his second year, which I thought was extremely disappointing. I believe he had 16 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Yep. For 2,600 yards. I thought his second year in the league was terrible. But granted, how many quarterbacks are going to have a great year when you have the worst offensive line in the NFL in Jesse Davis, Isaiah Ford, Mac Hollins, Devontae Parker, Miles
outside
Gaskin,
Jalen Waddle, there was nobody.
Johnson. I mean, you were throwing to absolute bozos, horrendous, bottom barrel talent. And Tua doesn't have that gigantic arm where he can make up for it with a 65-yard sling across the field. He doesn't have that. And when you have a head coach like Brian Flores, who is literally planning to sabotage you, and it sounds crazy, but he did not want Tua to play the Baltimore game. So he said, you're healthy enough to be the backup, but you're not healthy enough to start. That only makes sense if you're in concussion protocol, like the shit that happened with Teddy and Skyler a couple weeks ago. Other than that, that never makes any sense.
Bro,
and now I believe
you have to go out and play golf to be like,
he
I'm
went out and played golf. Exactly. He
golf
went out and he played golf. I think Herbert is starting to feel what Tua felt his first 2 years. I think both quarterbacks are great, and it sounds crazy, but I think you can win more games with Tua than with Herbert just from the pick six aspect and the inconsistency on the decision making.
It's the fact that Tua isn't as flashy as Justin Herbert. And again, this is what national fans will see. They're not going to watch the complete game and watch the all 22. I guarantee you national fans aren't doing that for teams that aren't their favorite team. What they are doing is watching the highlights. And what do you see on the NFL channel? You see Herbert, 65-yard bomb. You see Herbert doing this, Herbert doing that. Whereas Tua is a guy who's going to be accurate and he's going to let guys run after the catch. He's going to be a guy who.
By the way, he's been struggling with that this year, though. He was supposed to be good at that. Tua's been struggling with hitting those yak throws. At least he did against Pittsburgh. He was off. He was off on those yak throws. Like that one to Waddle should have been a touchdown.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then the other thing I was going to bring up was, I forgot. I was going to say Herbert. So Herbert has all the flash, all that stuff. Tua Tagovailoa he has traits that Herbert doesn't, but it's not as flashy. So the fact that he's good pocket presence, like no one's to be like, oh my God. But that's the thing that he makes his offensive line way better than it should be because of the way he moves around in the pocket and the way he gets the ball out. But again, these are things that he does well, which coaches will like and they'll see. And that's why you'll see a lot of coaches like him more than maybe fans will. But the thing is, fans won't care about the stuff that Tua does, again, because it's not flashy. It's not him running around like in Madden and then throwing a ball after doing a 360 flip and doing all that stuff, right? So that's not what Tua does. Tua is the guy who's going to get the offense set. He's going to hit the guy where he needs to. That's what he does. And he limits sacks. He does that type of stuff. But again, like I said, and you guys are probably listening to this saying, yeah, that seems not that impressive, even though it is. But again, because Herbert does all the flashy stuff, that's why the perception is where it is. And maybe it's true that Herbert's perception should be higher. But again, I think we're meeting a converging point where now Tua has the weapons that Justin Herbert had. Now they're on an equal playing
now
field.
He has better weapons, and I believe a better offensive-minded head coach.
Exactly.
Now, we can't score touchdowns in the red zone, which we'll get into later, but you're right. Herbert's starting to feel that, okay, my whole offensive line's gone. My 1 and 2 wide receivers, wide receiver 3 even, is not playing. He's starting to feel that. And that's kind of like what Tua went through. And that's why a lot of Dolphins fans were like, bro, give the kid a chance. Because you had Jesse Davis as a right tackle. And I've already sized the receivers and the running backs and the Flores. I've already said all that. But I think this is the first time where Justin Herbert's he's had to deal with some of the things that Tua has had to deal with his first 2 years in the league.
He's dealing with what Tua had to like. Imagine, and this is what I said in the video I made about Tua. Imagine you put Justin Herbert on the Dolphins. Like, let's say we drafted Justin Herbert. I'm not saying he wouldn't put up better stats than Tua. He probably would in Miami, but his stats would not be as gaudy as they are in Los Angeles.
Yeah, if the Dolphins drafted Justin Herbert, would he have put up better numbers than Tua, who had 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,800 yards, and then in his second year, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 2,600 yards? 100%, absolutely he would. But I do not believe Justin Herbert would have had over 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, and 38 touchdowns.
No way.
I do not see that happening because that Miami Dolphins team, I mean, it is a blessing from God that they won 10 games with that offensive line and the weapons that they had on offense. It was egregious. Herbert would have put up better numbers. Maybe they get into the playoffs. Maybe. I think that's a stretch. But at the end of the day, I don't think Justin Herbert is going for 38 touchdowns and 30 touchdowns with that Dolphins team for the first 2 years, too. It was there. No shot.
I think at the end of the day, this is a very interesting conversation because, again, like I said, the gap is closed and they're meeting a converging point. So this is like a good time to have the conversation. And listen, we all said at the beginning of this year, this is the time where Tua has everything he needs. Now we'll see what he can do. And once the season is complete, we can compare and contrast these quarterbacks from not just this year, but we can say, okay, listen, look at Herbert in year 2 versus Tua in year 3. Because that's when they were kind of similar. Because now Herbert's obviously struggling with weapons. So I don't want to compare that version of Herbert. I don't want to compare that version if they're going to say, like, I don't have these weapons. So let's compare the two when they both have the things that all quarterbacks should have. I'm not saying Justin Fields is amazing and he's a top even 30 quarterback. But he's obviously struggling because he's throwing to N'Keal Harry and Equanimeous St. Brown. So, like, having a good situation is very helpful. So, again, this year I'm taking Tua over Herbert all day, every day. I think that's pretty easy, just the way everything's been going. But in general, I just think the gap is closed a lot.
Let me ask you this final question. Short, sweet, and simple, and then we'll get into this Lions game. If you're the GM, doesn't have to be the Miami Dolphins. Say you made a team called the Jay Blazers, and you were on the clock, and you could pick right now based off what you've seen the first 3 years. Are you taking Tua or Herbert?
Okay, so I'm biased as fuck. And you will never catch me saying
you want to say Herbert. You want to say Herbert.
I do because of like his weapons, but here's what I'll say. You give me a top 5 offensive line, give me Tua.
So
obviously,
so you'll take Tua with the perfect pieces, but you'll take Herbert as if he was like a made-up puzzle piece that you could stick in anywhere if you can't find.
If I don't know, because it all depends on the roster construction of your team.
Jay, you're the GM. You constructed the roster.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So to me, because I'm very like in that grain of like it depends on the roster construction. But if you're saying like I have no idea what anything is going on, you're probably taking Herbert just because he has the ability to make something out of nothing, and also he's been more healthy, and that.
That's my biggest thing with Tua. And that's why I would lean Herbert over Tua because of the durability. I mean, he broke his rib and played next week. I mean, come on, bro. The kid's an absolute monster, but Tua has finally closed that gap. And that's a huge win for Dolphin fans. We should be smiling ear to ear because before this year, we were the laughing stock. Everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe they passed on Herbert for Tua. And it looked terrible. But this year, it don't look that bad. So Dolphin fans, we should be thrilled of how Tua has looked in year 3 compared to the last 2 years.
Is Herbert better in general? Like, sure. The thing is,
yes.
The thing is now
he's more talented. He's the beauty pageant quarterback.
You take
but look, like you could. Tua needs a better roster. Like if Tua has the pieces, I'm fine with Tua. But if you're missing that left tackle or right tackle and you have a Jesse Davis, you need a guy like Herbert to keep plays alive. Tua doesn't have that. I could break off this DN. I mean, he's made some people miss. Don't get me wrong. That spin move was disgusting. Like I fuck with Tua. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying I would take Herbert over Tua just because of durability. I believe a quarterback needs to play all 17 games. And for Tua, I know he's smaller in the league. If he misses 1 or 2, whatever. It is what it is. But until I see Tua play 15 to 17 games in a year, you cannot take him over Herbert, in my opinion. And we'll end it on that. Let's get into the Detroit Lions Miami Dolphins game. So let's put on our hats or whatever you wear before you get into a time machine. And let's fast forward to Monday morning. Let's say the Miami Dolphins defeat the Detroit Lions. How are you feeling on Monday morning?
I'm gassed, obviously. It's Victory Monday. You always have to get gassed after an NFL win. I don't care how they come. But I will say, I'm not going to be bragging about it. I'm not going to be talking how I talked after the Ravens game or the Bills game because, like I said on Wednesday's show, this is a layup. It should be a layup, and you got to make your layup. So while I'll be happy, I'm not going to be bragging. You're just going in and doing the thing that you should do. You are the overdog for a reason. You're not the underdog, and you are the favorite for a reason. And you're a favorite for a reason because you have more talent. So I'm going to be ecstatic. I'll be talking shit. But I'm not going to be so happy to the point where I'm like, we just beat someone of significance. I'm not trying to disrespect the Detroit Lions. I think they're better than 1-5. I like Dan Campbell. DeAndre Swift's one of my favorite players in the league. I'm not trying to disrespect them at all. Just at this point of the year, they are 1-5. We are 4-3. We have playoff aspirations. They have Bryce Young aspirations. So we should be beating them. And again, I'll be happy, but I'm not going to be going crazy like against the Ravens, against the Bills, because this is a game you should win.
This is one of those games where if the Dolphins win, it's like, okay, 8-3 sounds reasonable. Like, okay, we could actually go do this. We can make this run, but you have to win this game. So if the Dolphins win on Monday, am I going to be up here? We're going to the Super Bowl. We're doing this. We're doing that. No, but what I will say, okay, I think the Lions are the best, worst team that we have coming up. We just beat them at their house. And I'm assuming we're going to score some points. I'm going to be like, okay, offense is clicking. We're maybe, hopefully, God willingly, by Monday morning, this team will have more than one touchdown in a game. And that's it. I'll leave it at that. It's not going to change my expectation for how far this team can get. But if they win this game, I'm going to wake up on Monday and I'm going to say, damn, this team could really be 8-3. So we'll be 5-3. We could really win the next 3 games after this and make some serious noise. But if we lose this game, I am telling you, I am done. This water bottle will be filled with bleach, Percocet, fentanyl. Anything that can kill you will be in my water bottle, and I will chug it faster than Joey Chestnut eats a hot dog, brother. I mean, if you lose to the 1-5 Detroit Lions, led by Dan Campbell, who, by the way, rah-rah guy, I could rock with him, but you cannot lose to him, former head coach of the Miami Dolphins. You cannot lose to the 1-5 Detroit Lions. I do not care how good of a 1-5 team they are. I don't care. I don't care if Swift's back. I don't care if Amon-Ra St. Brown is playing, which, by the way, he is. There is no excuse to lose to a 1-5 football team. I don't care that it's on the road. If they lose this game, I believe the season's over. You cannot be 4-4 after these 8 games. I don't even care if you win the next 3. 7-4. I mean, that does sound kind of crazy. I would kind of like 7-4. Like 7-4 is cool, but 8-3 is better, is my point.
It just sounds so much better.
Lions. Because, well, here's the thing. If you lose a game like this, where's your confidence going to go as a team? How are you going to keep that locker room believing, yeah, we're going to go into Buffalo and beat Buffalo, or yeah, we're going to go to the West Coast, we're going to beat the Niners, and we're going to beat the Chargers, or how about even beating the Jets or beating New England? I mean, if you lose that game, you don't look at any game going forward and being like, yo, we're going to win this game. It's like, I am praying to God that when I look up at the scoreboard and there's 3 seconds left, that the Dolphins are somehow winning. I mean, this can drastically change how you view the Miami Dolphins going forward.
Oh yeah, I'll be swimming in the bathtub with a toaster, man. Like that. Like if you lose to the Detroit Lions, like that is terrible. Again, I don't want to disrespect them. I'm not trying to disrespect them, but you should shit on this team. That is what you were built to do. If you want to be a part of that upper echelon of teams, which is where we want to be with playoff win aspirations,
you got to destroy bad teams. You have to
destroy bad teams. Exactly. You have to destroy teams like this. You have to go out there.
That's why last week pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that game should have been a blowout. I mean, it should have been over after the first quarter.
Yep. You're right. It should have been after. And after we saw the first drive, I think we're like, oh my God, we're about to whoop this team 40-0. That's how I felt after that first drive. And then we continued. Yeah, we haven't had a other than the Patriots, which was kind of comfortable, even deep into the fourth quarter, was still
Dude,
kind of in
that
the
game was
balance.
scary as hell, too.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we
haven't
won
had
by
a game.
13, but it wasn't like I was so comfortable winning by that
We have not had a
13. It
comfortable
was
win
an
yet.
ugly
We haven't had
13.
one yet. We haven't had a
No.
comfortable win yet. And we're
Week
dude,
2, Baltimore. Week 3, Buffalo. Week 4, loser. Week 5, loser. Week 6, loser. Dude, that is crazy.
terrible.
That's nuts. But we also
Terrible.
haven't I mean, we did have a blowout loss to the Jets. I mean, it was a lot closer than the scoreboard said, but
Yeah, like
for the most part, we haven't had a comfortable win or loss except kind of the Jets game.
yeah, kind of. But again, that's like you're literally starting your third string with no preparation. So it's like, how
Yeah,
well
I
was that
mean,
going to go?
and no Xavien Howard or Teron Armstead. And the Jets aren't dog shit. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not like the same old Jets. Like, they had, at the
Yeah.
time, they had talent.
Hey, their
over there.
defensive
Cap
running
for
game is
life,
going
my
crazy.
dog. First super chat of the day. Thank you, brother. $5 donation. Thank you. We need this. Great teams make trades. Sorry to break it to you guys, but we've been lied to. We are not
The
a Super
video,
Bowl
bro.
team. Sorry. If your quarterback is good, you make moves to win now. I agree / disagree with this statement. Yes, trades need to be made. This Dolphins team is not a Super Bowl team whatsoever with the current roster construction. Knock on wood, and I'll knock down there too. If we lose Raheem Mostert, we will have Myles Gaskin and Chase Edmonds as a 1-2 punch. That is horrendous. I'd rather me or Jay go out there and play running back. I wouldn't mind going for Kareem Hunt. There's obviously more issues we could address, like the offensive line, and I'll let Jay get into that because, by the way, he posted a fantastic 9-minute video on his channel. Go ahead, check that out. He'll go into all the detail. He's amazing with all that. I believe Tua is good enough. I've seen Jimmy G go to the Super Bowl. I've seen Jared Goff go to the Super Bowl. I know they both lost, but it is what it is. I've seen Nick Foles win a Super Bowl. I've seen above average quarterbacks make it and win Super Bowls. So I believe you can win a Super Bowl with Tua, but based off what I've seen so far from this football team, we do not have the depth to make it through week 18 and be healthy enough to get into the Super Bowl. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, like we might be undefeated when Tua starts and finishes a game, but we have suffered so many injuries where it's like you're not even going to get to that point. Like you need to be healthy enough to even win games. Like you're not going to go in there and win it with a backup quarterback. You're not going to go in and win with Myles Gaskin as RB1. Maybe you will because obviously running backs in like they're a weird position, but it's you need depth, especially at the cornerback position, especially at these positions where we've lacked it. Now I will say, and I think this is a smooth transitioning point to get into the injury report. Actually, we are a lot more healthy than we have
We're
been
surprisingly
so
healthy-ish.
Yeah.
We lost Brandon Jones. Huge loss. Huge loss. But I looked at this injury report today. This is the worst injury report I have seen this year. I'm going to get it pulled up for you guys right now. For the Dolphins, this like we low-key hit the lottery. For the Finns, this is a blessing. We have no one ruled out. Let me start here. So Armstead, guaranteed playing. You don't have to wait till Sunday.
Yep.
Mostert playing. Wilkins playing. Baker. All these guys. I wish Liam Eichenberg would get hit by a bus. Not die, but, possibly just give him a nice little retirement check from the NFLPA, Social Security people. All these guys are playing. This was kind of weird. Tua left hand, full practice, whatever.
Yeah, that was on Wednesday. All good. Now
he's all right.
It's gone.
All
now,
these guys
so
guaranteed playing, and no one's out. No one's out. Tanner Connor. I mean, you can't catch the ball anyway. Big role this week, and I'm never gonna say his last name right.
I was gonna say his name, bro.
Clayton Friegelum.
I don't know for sure. I think it's Fedulum, but I'm not sure.
Does anyone know how to say his last name? Like I've learned how to say no. Look, it took me 2 years. It took me 3 years to learn how to say no ignominy. This might be worse.
I used to know butcher the fucking.
That's not right.
Say it again.
No ignominy.
You're saying it with an M. It's an N.
No ignominy. Say it.
Okay, there you go. Noah Igbenogany.
Noah Igbenogany. I have to say it with an M. Fuck you. All right.
No, you're good.
Xavien Howard questionable. That's the only one that somewhat concerns me.
Hey,
I don't
this
have that
motherfucker's
weird
playing,
feeling in my
baby.
stomach though.
He's playing.
Dude, that jersey's tough.
He's
That jersey's
playing.
tough.
He's playing.
Morstead. This was kind of weird. Non-injury
Yeah.
related illness. We kind of need him out there. Durham Smythe plays a big part.
Hey,
Emmanuel
fuck that. We're
Ogbah
gonna beat the Lions so bad we're not gonna punt. You know what? Take the day off.
Preach. Yeah, you're right. Honestly, take the day off, Slime. But here's the crazy thing. The Lions outdid us on the injury report.
First time
This
this year.
is the first time a team, I mean, we have more players on there, but look, ours are all dashes. Theirs is all out, questionable. If they let Amon-Ra St. Brown play, the NFL's rigged. And Tua was literally just a fucking puppet.
Well, we already knew that. I'm not gonna lie. We
It is
already
what it
knew
is.
that. And they're missing 2 starters, which, like, I'm not gonna lie, for a team as bad as them, doesn't really mean that much because their backups aren't that much worse than their starters, to be completely honest with you. But it still is nice the fact that we only have guys who are questionable. And usually, at least for this year, I'm not gonna lie, I think like most of the time, guys who are questionable on our injury report have played.
Right.
So I think we should be good
How
to go.
about this, though? How about this, though, Jay? Keon Carlson, he bet. Cater Kohu, he bet. We got some depth back. The boys are back. The boys are buzzing. Does
Hey,
this
I'll
injury
take that,
report
man.
not get you excited?
It gets me very excited because, again, we are finally healthy. And like you said, we need to win these next 4 games.
Healthy-ish.
But again, I will say all teams are banged up. Like, even though guys, like, you just want guys to play because all guys will be dealing with something, to be fair. So this is this is relatively healthy for, I'll be honest, we've kind of met like the middle point of the season. We're pretty healthy right now, and it will be good because we're facing bad teams. And if we can just keep on rolling, I want to win games and keep staying healthy because that's what we need to do over these next 4 games before we get into the rough stretch, the dog days of the season, because then you're going to be rolling with momentum because of the wins and you'll be healthy. And we have an opportunity. I'm not saying all the time, and I'm not trying to get too deep into this, but you have an opportunity to play other guys a little bit more in these games against bad teams. Like, you can rest guys a little bit more than you could against teams like the Bills and Ravens, right? Like, when you're playing the Lions and the Bears and the Texans, you could play guys who you probably wouldn't play in other situations. That's part of going through the season. We'll see if Mike McDaniel elects to do that, but that's part of being a head coach, is managing those reps, managing that time. So that's something you can do. And again, you want to win these games, win them convincingly, and then move on to that next part of the season. Because we all saw at the beginning of the season, it was a hard part of the schedule. The middle gets super fucking easy. And then at the end, it's really tough. So what you want to do is, we're in that middle stretch. Let's rip off some wins. Let's stay healthy. And then let's let that momentum snowball into us winning some of those games at the end of the year. That's what we should do. And I think that is what we're on pace to do right now. That injury report is a blessing in disguise. Again, like you said, it looks like a laundry list of names. But when you actually get into the nitty gritty of it, most guys, no guys are out. Most guys are dashes. And the only guy who's questionable, who I really have a problem with being questionable, is Xavien Howard.
Yep. Well, speaking of Xavien Howard, do you think he really has herpes? I don't believe the report. It wasn't even from a real Sun Sentinel thing. I'm not believing X is out here giving herpes to bitches. I'm not buying
I'll
that.
leave it at this. All right. And listen, I will never put down or joke about STDs, His ball skills are unstoppable. So I'll leave it at that. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you think X is the type of guy that would tell the girl that he has herpes? I think he's a stand-up dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a good guy, But
I don't think the girl would be able to
like,
sue
he's quiet,
if she
but
told
like,
him.
yeah.
I think by law you have to tell people,
and especially like he knows his.
I wouldn't know. I obviously wouldn't know. I feel like X doesn't have herpes. I feel like everyone would know from like.
I feel like Mike Florio just comes out like, "Hey, I got some
Mike Florio, breaking
information."
news: Dolphins corner Xavien Howard herpes.
He's out. He's out for this game. Imagine seeing that on the injury report, out, and it just in brackets herpes. Yeah, that'd be tough.
Cap said, "Shout out my dog TD, by the way. TD, you should be watching live, but you're not. It is what it is." TD just confirmed it and read the court reports from Broward County Sheriff's Office.
Bro, we're reading
keep
court reports?
living in denial, but this team is in trouble. I'm gonna call him right now and see if he answers.
I have a question. Like, if Xavien
Hey,
did,
if it's true, someone drop the link in my comments. If this man's actually giving out herpes to bitches, I'll be shook. He'd be worse than I don't know if he could. I don't know if I could say he'd be worse than Deshaun Watson, but he'd be up there.
can you get
Like giving
suspended for
herpes
that?
to bitches, knowing you have it, is kind of crazy.
Oh, knowing you have it is a crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
TD, don't fuck with me like that.
Yeah, bro, he's big time.
Hey, chat. Bullshit, TD.
Did you
Bullshit,
just give out the W,
TD.
bro? I don't know.
He did. Look, I mean, it is
all
what it is. All right. X may or may not have herpes. Let's stay on track with the Lions game. All right. How are we going to stop this Lions offense?
You stopped DeAndre Swift.
And by the way, the Dolphins have the 7th best run defense.
Christian Wilkins. So, hey, by the way, pay Christian Wilkins. Extend this man. We need to extend him. He just did his 5th-year contract. We need to extend this man. He is one of the best top 10 interior defensive linemen in the NFL, in football. This guy is fantastic. I'm not going to lie. We would be lost. We would be sorry if we did not have this man on the defensive line. We all know how good he is. He's a captain on this team. We need to extend that guy, just like as a side note, because he's been so good against the run. And this defense has been great against the run. And to stop this Lions team, you need to stop DeAndre Swift, because Jared Goff, he can get it going sometimes. He's accurate. He doesn't really do that much else other than that. And like, he has a couple of weapons. Amon-Ra is obviously a great up and coming wide receiver. He's obviously been very, very good. I just think you stop DeAndre Swift, you force Jared Goff to throw the ball, and with our secondary, if X plays, you make him make mistakes, throw some interceptions, and you should be good to go. To me, DeAndre Swift is the guy you have to stop. And even if it's not DeAndre Swift, it's just their run game. They have Jamal Williams, stuff like that. So as long as you stop Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift, you should be fine.
I'm sorry. We're going to go back to that. Great take. X deadass might have herpes.
Wait, this goes back to 2018? Is that what I just saw?
Yeah. Miami Dolphins corner Xavien Howard is facing hefty lawsuits after a woman came forward alleging he knowingly gave her genital herpes, an incurable sexually transmitted disease. Scroll down. The pair first met in early 2018 at a Quest Diagnostics laboratory where Howard asked her on a date, the lawsuit read. At the beginning of their relationship, he told her that he had no STDs, even showing his negative test results. In 2019, Howard learned that he contracted genital herpes but did not tell the woman, according to the suit. Instead, he proceeded to stand by his assertion that he had been tested several times without contracting any STDs. Yo, X has herpes.
Well, that's according to the suit. That's according to her lawsuit. But I'm not going to victim blame or anything like that. So, like, we still don't know. Like, we're just going to have to wait for it. But,
oh, he dirty. He dirty dog. He dirty dog.
He's dirty dog.
That's gotta wrap it up, my boy. Got to see it through, my boy. Hopefully, it's allegedly.
This is all smoke, man. I got no comment. This
is just the NFL trying to get the Dolphins back for tampering with Tom.
Have they not done enough already, man? God damn it.
This could all be Fugazi, right?
I don't know, man. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about whether Xavien Howard has herpes or not, whether he knowingly gave it to a woman. I hope not. But like, if he did, then that's unfortunate.
You can't get suspended for giving a girl herpes, can
you?
No,
that's what I was gonna ask. Like, does he face like NFL like consequences? Like, does he have to take a leave of absence from the team or something? Like, I
don't know. I should have paid more attention in sexual education, but I didn't. And I don't know how the NFLPA is going to respond to this. Like, can you suspend a player for giving someone herpes?
Does JC Treader, the NFL PA president, come out and be like, "Hey, we can't stand for this. Like, we can't." Like, I don't know. Is this the first time this has happened to someone?
Could you imagine if the Dolphins lost their best corner to herpes? No. We can't. I don't even know if we could laugh about it right now. Because if it happens, it would actually be the craziest thing of all time.
No way the Dolphins.
Like, that would be the most
after the butt punt too, bro. No, bro. No.
Bro, maybe that's why his groins were hurting him.
That was Trent Sherfield. I was just making a dumb joke. It was Sherfield who got hit in the ass. Did Sherfield get herpes from the butt kick and give it to Xavien Howard?
No shot. No shot.
Then we're good. Then we're chilling. We should be fine.
Hey, man, all I know is like post-game shower, you ain't going anywhere close to X. No shot. Them boys let X shower first or last. Oh, my God. All right, enough talking about genital herpes. If you want that, you could just fucking follow Xavien Howard. I don't know. Do whatever you want for your herpes information.
Bro, I got his name on my back right now. Like, yeah,
you were wearing the Herpy Man jersey.
Don't say that, bro. Don't call me the Herpy Man jersey. Come on, man.
You're the Herps.
No,
You're
bro.
Justin
No.
Herbst. Xavien Herbert.
The ball skills about Xavien that I care about are the ones on the field. All right.
I don't know. He needs an interception because right now he's giving more herpes out than he has picks. Anyway, back to the Lions. You said the best way to stop him is to stop DeAndre Swift. Luckily for the Dolphins, we had the 7th best run defense in the NFL. Big blessing. Jared Goff, he's kind of like Kirk Cousins. You put pressure on him, he folds like a beach chair. I think this is a very winnable game for the Miami Dolphins. My biggest concern is
whoa. You're describing very winnable, like we're facing the Ravens, and it's very possible that we win. No. This is not a very winnable game.
It's a 3.5 point spread.
It is.
The Dolphins are minus 3.5.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay, well, I will have money on that. I'll tell you that right now. I will have money on that.
And Vegas is probably smiling. All right.
Vegas is smarter than me, obviously, but you don't, bro. We should whoop this team, man.
I agree. We should whoop this team.
Who is defending Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill?
We should have mollywopped the Steelers. Like, we should have won so many games. That's what we say. We should have blown all these teams out, and then we wake up Monday and it's like, oh, we left meat on the bone.
We haven't had Tua, but I have a question. You tell me one name other than Jeff Okudah on that secondary that's guarding Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
I can't name one.
Give me one name.
One that could guard
exactly.
them.
Tua Tagovailoa should be throwing bombs, and we should be going up so much to the point where Thomas Morstead doesn't punt, and in the second half, we're just chewing clock. We're just like, yep, we got to get this game over with, get the fuck out of Detroit, come back home to Miami with that sweet, sweet W, baby. We should be beating this team. Listen,
we should steamroll them.
I can't believe I'm being this confident because even on the Wednesday show, I was like kind of not as confident because we're Dolphins fan. We have that PTSD. I was thinking about it. I was talking to one of my boys. We were talking. He was talking to me. He's like, why wouldn't you beat them? Like, because obviously he knows we have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Like, they're 1-5. We're 4-3. They're going for Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. We're going for the playoffs. This is a team that we should shit kick. This is a team that we should run through, and it should be easy. There should be no, oh no, there should be none of that. We should win. That is what I think we should do.
Shout out Patrick Mullen for the $5 super chat. Thank you, big goat. There are no winnable games for this team. Jay said the same thing about the Steelers last week. We won last week, brother.
We won.
We didn't cover the spread. Jay is not a bettor. He is not
I bet on that, though.
Sports bettor like me. I'm a professional sports bettor. Up 19.85 units. I am 34-14 on the year. I am arguably the greatest NFL bettor of all time. But the Dolphins won last week, brother. They won last week. They didn't cover. They should have covered easily, but they won.
Parlay, man. God damn it.
But they won. It's all right.
I'm the homer. I was the one who was worried about the Jets with smoke.
Yeah, I was petrified against the Jets. I'm not going to lie.
What are we talking about? I'm always worried. I'm always having PTSD, but I don't think it's crazy for me to say that we should go out and beat the Lions. I don't think that's crazy. I'm not going to lie. I don't think that's even a homer pick. Appreciate you, Gavin.
Oh, TD's calling. TD's calling. See, he fought with me like that. Yo, TD. TD.
Yeah.
You're on the Smoke Show right now via phone call. My chat's saying that you read the court documents. I need confirmation that Xavien Howard is out here giving herpes to females.
Oh my God. Are you serious right now?
The chat saying TD read the court documents and I just needed confirmation and I called you didn't answer. They say he don't fuck with you like that.
Nah, that ain't the case. You my boy. No, we don't know if Xavien out here is out here giving anybody anything. These are court documents in a lawsuit that was filed. It does not make it true, nor does it make it false. But it is official that it has been filed in a court, and this is what it is being alleged, that he knew that he had it in 2019, and then she didn't find out she had it until 2021, 2 years later, and he continued seeing her for those 2 years after he knew he had it. And then after she got it, the court documents also say that he told her pretty much, basically intimidated her and say, well, only me and you can mess with each other because that way we don't spread it to anyone else.
Oh, he nasty.
That's what the documents
Bro,
say.
get me off the
I'll
street,
send you the
man.
documents.
Like, I'm not a part of this.
And then just text me your email again because I don't know if I still have it, and then I'll send it to you right now, or you can go over on your show. But then he also told her, again, all of this is alleged to the court. He also told her, as she kept on harassing him, he said, gosh, basically in so many words, Dane, I'm sorry. I already told you I'm sorry I gave it to you. Ain't nothing you can do now. Your ass act like you can't move on.
Ooh. Jay, you got to take his jersey off.
Nah, bro. It's not true. Please.
All right, I appreciate you, TD. Thank you, brother.
All right.
Fins up. Oh, my gosh. That's wild. It's in the courts now. It's in the courts. Kind of sketch.
The one day I bring out
Yo,
the
cap for
extra.
life. You have not donated to the channel one time. Stop the cap. You have not donated. Stop the cap. Or maybe you donated to TD's channel.
He
Yeah.
donated.
I don't know.
He donated today, like on this stream. He donated on this stream,
If
bro.
he donated today, I'm gonna send him the money back for being an asshole. Oh my god, he did.
I told you.
Oh my god, Cap. I'm an asshole. I'm a loser.
Here, listen.
I'm ungrateful. I'm worse than Xavien Howard.
Listen.
I'm a loser for that. Cap. I love you, brother.
Clean clothes, but I got some Febreze. All right, let me just.
Cap, I deserve to send you your money back. I'm sorry,
I just gotta
Cap.
clean off this extra.
I'm sorry, Cap. I'm sorry, Cap.
We should be okay.
Cap, forgive me. I love you, Cap. I'm sorry. Keep spraying that Lysol. Damn. So confirmed, basically, almost kind of confirmed.
I
X
got
has
shit in my
herpes.
mouth. Fuck.
Somewhat almost confirmed X has herpes.
Pause. Hey, yo.
We were supposed to be talking about the Lions, but I can't stop thinking about X having herpes.
Bro.
And you're wearing his jersey, so it's like every time I try to get off it, I'm just looking at your herpes-infested jersey. And I said that jersey was clean, but now it's legitimately dirty. It's
I got the spray out. We're good. All
right. Can we try to talk about the Lions game?
Me? How about you focus on the Lions game?
They can't stop Jalen and Tyreek. And I believe that they know that their secondary is absolute dog water. So what are they going to do? I think they're just going to drop more and more people back. You might see them drop 8. So what does that mean? I need Raheem Mostert to run the rock. And by the way, he will. Raheem Mostert is clearly the best.
Mark, is that you, bro?
Chat, stop it. Herpes are that bad. Okay, I'm done talking about herpes. I'm talking about Raheem Mostert. Patrick, I see your comment. I'm going to get there in a second. Raheem Mostert needs to have over 100 rushing yards, and I think he will. I really do, because I think the Lions are going to be absolutely petrified of Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, all them boys, and they should be. I see him dropping 8. I think this is going to be a breakout game for Raheem Mostert. I think he goes for over 100 yards and scores a touchdown, and I pray to God that Chase Edmonds does not come in the game. Patrick Bullen, my brother, thank you for another $5 dono. All right, the game to worry about is next week at Chicago, because it's Chicago in November. Everybody should be looking at the weather report every day.
Let's focus on Detroit first. Well, I agree.
I want to focus on Detroit first. If the Dolphins lose either of those games, though, I mean, that's A major disappointment. If we lose
Hey,
to
if Tua was
Justin
out there with
Fields,
Talia and Maryland going crazy this summer,
if we lose to Justin Fields and the Bears because it's too cold out, we have a problem. I'm just saying. But we'll save that for next week. But Patrick, thank you for the donation, brother. We love you. Jay, who's your offensive MVP for the Miami Dolphins for this week?
For the Miami Dolphins? People are going to call me a homer again. Nah, I won't go Tua. It should be Tua. You'd have to hope it's Tua. And you took Raheem, so I don't want to go with Raheem.
Raheem is mine.
Let me go Tyreek then. Let me go Reek. Actually, yeah, well, I'll go Reek.
Sorry, Cap. I love you. I love you. I owe you, Cap. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. Sorry, Jay. I don't mean to cut you off. I just feel so bad.
Nah, you're good. You're good. The thing is, Raheem is the X factor. I agree with you, man. Like, if
Hey, you get it?
Oh, you emailed it to me?
I just texted it to you.
My dog. All right, bet. Thank you, bro.
All right, you good.
Peace.
Yo, that's crazy. That's a crazy donation, yo. Hey, yo, that's a crazy donation.
X gonna give it to you on God. Oh my gosh. He's gonna give you the clamps. He's gonna give you the clap. He's gonna give you the herps. He's gonna give you the picks. He's gonna give you the tip. He's gonna give you the. He's gonna give you everything. Genital herpes. It ruined the show.
I should have let you do the show on your own, man. Like, that's what I should have done.
All right. So your MVP is Reek.
I'm going Reek because it is Raheem Mostert, because I do think we're going to get up so much that we're just going to run the ball out. So Raheem Mostert should have a good game against this Lions team. But if I'm going to have to go someone else and I don't want to pick an offensive lineman, I'm going to go Reek. Reek only had 70 yards last week. He needs to get back on pace to, break that record. I think he should go crazy against the Lions. They're an ass team. No CBs other than Jeff Okudah even scare me. Okudah himself doesn't scare me that much because it is Tyreek Hill, the best receiver in the NFL. So to me, you got to get him over 100 yards relatively easily. And because of that, I do think Tua will do well. I think this is a game where Tua can just let the ball fly. He should have no fear. He should have no hesitation. Let that ball fly, baby. Hit Waddle, hit Reek, and let's go destroy this team. Again, I'm not trying to be a homer. I told Smoke before the show.
You're a homer. We're all homers.
Well,
We're all homers.
Before, I just don't hate on this team like when it's not deserved. I just think,
sometimes it's very deserved to hate on this team.
Because of where we are, we should blow this team out. I don't understand. I don't think that's a homer even thing to say. We should blow the Lions out.
When the schedule dropped, I don't think there's a single Dolphin fan that said, hey, man, we might lose to Detroit.
And we shouldn't now.
I did it.
Back. We're healthy. Let's go out and run. We're not dealing with significant injuries as much as before. Tua's back. There should be no reason we lose this game. That is why I'm as confident as I am. I am just saying, I know I have PTSD from us too. This would be a game that we would lose. I get it. But this should be a game that we go in and destroy the Lions. I'm not trying to say it might be close. Who knows? They're a better team than 1-5. I'm just saying the way I'm feeling right now with the injury report coming back, that most people are healthy, most people are ready to go this early. I just think this is a game that you should go in, run the ball a lot, pass the ball a lot. You probably shouldn't get stopped on defense. They have the worst defense in the entire NFL. You should go in there and handle business. I'm not talking about, even if it's not 30 points, I'm just talking about you go in there, you win by double digits, and you leave. The game is never.
Beat the Lions by 20 fucking points, bro.
I'm just saying the game should never be out of hand. The game should be in hand from the start.
If we are watching this game and in the fourth quarter on the edge of our seat, we have a problem. And by the way, I believe that's a realistic scenario, and I'll explain that in my score prediction later on. Give me your defensive MVP. I don't want to be a homer and say JP. I think Christian Wilkins or Landon Roberts is going to have a fucking game on Sunday.
Give me that boy on my back. Give me hurt boy. Give me X, baby.
Imagine if
first pick.
Imagine X pick 6 and he's holding his dick jumping into the end zone.
That's what I'm saying. First pick. That's what I'm going with. Give me X. First pick of the year. The fact that he doesn't have an interception yet is crazy, by the way. So give me Xavien Howard, first interception.
We got 100 people watching live. If you haven't already, hit that like button, baby. I should ask you guys more, but I don't, and it's my fault. So now let me just ask you once. Please hit the like button. It's so easy. So easy. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 4K think we're at like 3.4 now, getting close to 4K. Please, it would mean so much to me, Jay, and Bobby, even though he is not here. All right, so we gave our MVPs. We kind of talked about the game, got blindsided by herpes. Let's give our official score prediction, and then we could go back to herpes if you want. I will start with you.
All right. This is my score prediction. 31-17, but the Lions score late. So it could be 31-10. They score a late field goal. They score a late touchdown, whatever. 31-17 Miami. Easy as that. You go in, you put up points, you run the ball in the second half. This should be a game where literally by 8 minutes left in the third quarter, everyone's like, I want to tune out of this game. Whoever's not like a Dolphins fan and be like, this is boring. They're just going to run the clock out. That's how the game should go.
Yep, I agree. But I don't agree. So I have 2 score predictions. Okay, so I am a professional gambler. At least I'm a professional NFL bettor. The line is 3.5. The public is on the Dolphins. The sharp money is on the Lions. So that tells me for some weird ass reason, this is going to be a close game. But sometimes when that happens, the public will win and it'll be an absolute blowout. So if the Dolphins are really like that, they'll blow them out. So my degenerate NFL professional pick, the final score, if Vegas is correct, is 30-27. The Dolphins win. The Lions cover the 3.5. And then Dolphin fans that bet on the Dolphins -3.5 will wake up like me on Monday and cry. I do not see the Dolphins losing this game. I could see it being close. 30-27 is my Vegas NFL betting score prediction. Now, my homer, what I believe should happen, regardless of the point spread, regardless of what Vegas is saying, it should be 38-10 Miami. Those are my 2 score predictions. Shout out Justin. This one play X didn't lock down. Oh, it took me a second to get it, but now I get it. Took me a second to get it, but now I get it. Jay got no comment.
No comment, bro.
That boy's sick. That boy is sick.
I don't want to talk about it, man. The one day I bring out the X jersey, this is what we're talking about.
It's just hilarious that you come out. This is the first time I've seen you wearing a Xavien Howard jersey. And it's the first time I heard he has herpes. All right. TD sent me the court documents, but dude, I am not reading 8 pages of this shit. At least not live, because I'm just not going to do that. I think that's pretty much it, right? You got any closing
I don't know,
remarks?
like people, hey, again, like people are saying Homer, like this is just my belief that we are a good team. Like we are a team that put up 42 points on the Ravens, came back down 14. We're a team that beat the only team in the NFL that beat the Buffalo Bills. Again, right. I am not trying to gas this team up. If we were doing the show last year, you would not be seeing this from me. I promise you would not. But Tua's back and we're healthy. And we haven't lost a game in that situation yet this year. So I feel like I have a reason to be kind of as confident as I am. That's just how I'm feeling.
I mean, we didn't build this roster to lose to the Lions or have close games against 1-5 football teams. We built this roster to win fucking playoff games.
That's what I'm saying.
We built this roster to blow out the Detroit Lions. And that's why it pisses me off when we score 16 damn points against the Steelers after having 13 points in the first quarter.
Yep.
It's egregious.
Yep.
It's egregious. And now I'm fired up. My blood pressure's back up, so I'm not ending the show now. Now
we're going
to go another 7 minutes. And Jay, my turn. If Tua does not have a near flawless game, I will be upset with him. Not perfect, like he said in his interview. You can't be perfect, but you can be excellent. I expect excellence from Tua Tagovailoa. I don't want to see missed yak throws. I don't want to see drop picks, although drop picks are a scam. Tom Brady had 2 of them. Josh Allen had 5 of them. I'm not that drop pick loser guy, okay? But I do want to see excellence from this kid. There's no excuse. We are superior. We're the United States. This is World War II. We enter your battlefield and you lose. Jay, you were on our side. I know you're a Canadian, but you were on our side during that, so you're technically a World War champ.
Adjacent, yeah.
Yes. Like we were LeBron and you were kind of like Shane Battier. But regardless, the Dolphins go in to Detroit. Tua should look like Jesus himself. I mean, he'll never be Jesus. No one will. I love Jesus. But he should
I don't know.
be like
ask him Tua stands out there. If they said hand to God, they say like hand to
Tua.
Tua.
Knows he is not Jesus.
No, I'm saying Tua stands, bro. I don't know.
Tua should look excellent against the Detroit Lions.
I see a Lions account in the chat. Listen, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but good luck to you as well. I love DeAndre Swift. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. I love DeAndre Swift. I'm just saying the teams are where they are. This is a rebuilding team going up against a playoff aspirations team. Like, again, like Smoke said, we did not trade for Tyreek Hill to lose to the Detroit Lions, bro. That's not what we did. That is not what we did.
Shout out Patrick for the super chat, brother. $2 donation. God bless you. You pay my rent. I live in a box, so my rent is $25 a month, and you cover that every time I come on here. Thank you, Patrick. And thank you, Cap. I can't believe I said that to you again. I feel like an absolute loser. If we score fewer than 24 points, is this a playoff team? Fantastic question. It's kind of a trick question because if we win the game, we would be 5-3, and we would be a playoff team if the season ended that day. But do I believe we are a playoff contender team if we can't score touchdowns against the Detroit Lions? No. I wrote down as the fifth topic, keys to victory. We didn't really get into it, but my key to victory was
someone
score
got in
touchdowns.
the way.
Scoring more touchdowns than the Detroit Lions. Score more points than the Lions, you will beat them. But you need to score touchdowns. If this team has more field goals than touchdowns this week, I will have a bigger problem than Xavien Howard. We should not be kicking field goals against the dead last defense in the NFL. This needs to get nipped in the butt. I don't care last week was Tua's first week back after 2 weeks.
Rush.
The man was practicing from June, July, August, September, October.
No, Russ is not a thing heading into this game.
This is week 8, brother.
Yeah.
This is week 8. This is not week 2. This is not week 3. This is not week 4. This is week 8. Score touchdowns. Catch touchdowns.
There are zero excuses. There is zero excuses for this game. Zero. Zip. Nada. Zilch.
Bro, there should be no excuses, period. Like, I am tired of excuses, brother.
There should be no excuses for this game. You're right. There should be no excuses for this game. This should be like I said, make your layups. Make your layups. This is a wide open transition layup. And I'm trying to look like I'm trying to look like Luka Doncic. Just fillet. Make your layups, man. That's what you got to do. Again, I'm really trying not to disrespect the Lions. But this is a game. You have to go in, get out, and handle business. This should be a comfortable win. A comfortable victory.
If this team doesn't score 20 points against the Lions,
we're cooked.
I agree with that.
We're cooked.
If you don't score 20 points, I think this team's cooked.
And we're healthy.
Or at least this offense is.
Yeah, we're cooked.
Because, like, McDaniel is cool. He's funny. He ums too much for me, though. I don't like the umming. I'm not a big guy. And then here I go, See? I am an guy. But I don't like when other guys because you shouldn't if you're professional.
You're a hypocritical guy.
I'm a hypocritical ummer.
Yeah.
I'm a mother ummer. If we don't score 20 points, it's an L. We hired Mike McDaniel to be this offensive guru. We bring in Tyreek. We bring in we talk about it every single week. This team needs to score more than 20 points against the worst defense in the NFL, who, by the way, don't have their best safety and are completely banged up. And you can't even have a Charles Harris game because he's not playing. Revenge game, I mean.
I agree.
It should be a blowout, but the line's 3.5. If this line was Miami -10, I think the Dolphins would win by 50.
Yeah, you're too much on Vegas, man. You got to go with the vibes, baby. And that's why I lose all my money betting and you win all your money betting. That's why you got to go with the vibes, baby. You got to go with the vibes. And I don't know, maybe I woke up on the right side of the bed today. Maybe that's why I'm feeling so confident because I feel like I'm usually not this vocal about the Dolphins in this way. I'm feeling great, man. Go out, handle business. I want Tua. I want you to throw up some big stat lines. And by the way, we go on a little 4-game win streak here. Tua throws only 2 interceptions over 4 games. He only throws 2 over 4 games, and he's throwing for touchdowns. He might sneak back into the MVP race. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he would be up there. He really
A
would.
little,
I mean,
a little
it's
juice. Hey, just a little juice to end the show, baby. Let's get rolling. Hey, listen.
little juice to end the show. Unless you're
Let's go,
Xavien
baby.
Howard, you don't need any more. Chat. Let me know if you think Xavien Howard has herpes.
Oh, that's not
Let
what
me
I'm
know
here for.
if you think it's true or false. I mean,
I
I
thought-
definitely think he has herpes, but let me know if you think he's going to get suspended. And also let me know if you think he has herpes.
No
106
comment
people
for me.
watching live. Thank you guys so much. We love you guys so much. You gave us a full hour of your day. I am so grateful for that. And you guys have no idea how much it means to me, Jay, Bobby, even though he's not here. To everyone that donated, God bless you. That's the only way we're going to be able to grow this channel and upgrade certain audio things and all that other bull crap. So thank you guys so much for donating and just always being here and supporting us. God bless all of you, and hopefully nothing too crazy comes for this Xavien Howard story because that would be egregious. Jay, it's been a pleasure, brother. And as always, fins up.
Fins up, baby. Appreciate you, chat. I know Bobby does as well. So shout out to you guys.
Fins for the win. Again.
Yes, sir.
And again. And again and again and again and again and again.